Hello guys, and welcome to another one of my bigger than yours videos. Bigger than yours is a bit of a soft spot in terms of updates. It's a bit of I'm not that happy about, and that is of course because everyone sitting out there playing on iOS haven't been getting any updates for ages. And I have tried to submit updates, but they have not been reviewed. And I've been waiting 2 days, nothing happened. I made a new update, tried to submit that, nothing has happened. But now I have submitted this update here to iOS, canceled the other stuff, and I'm not gonna do anything until this update is live, both on Android and iOS. So just so you guys know, this is like, I actually wanted to go multiplayer before adding more stuff, but I added these features because of the feedback from you guys, and now I'm just gonna like ignore game development until this is available on both platforms, and we have a chance to talk about what this has done for the game and how we can improve it even further. So let us look at what we have in Bigger Than Yours 1342. Yes, so new things in the game, loads of new things if you're on iOS. We have a color indicator at the top, and this actually indicates the color of the object you are going to spawn. So if you tap slowly, the indicator is going to start later in the bar, and it's going to give you more darker. We have a dark sun. When this dark sun is shown on the screen, you're only going to get completely black objects. If you tap very fast, you will normally get very bright objects, but if the black sun is there, you're just going to get completely black objects. So there are many new ways you can look at this game. Now we have the first bonus, which is cash over time for items with a golden border. These multiply, of course, as you go down in the tiers. But objects with a golden border can do more for you now than they could before. Besides giving you money over time now, as first recommended, they can do other stuff. We also have now dark clouds, which are 100 times better at darkening objects. This means when you tap on existing objects, you're going to make them 100 times darker than what you did before. And this is super efficient. If you look at the new combo I added in, that is going to allow you to spawn new polygons. If you tap on a square with a golden border, you have a chance, decreases as the tiers go down, to spawn a pentagon, making your square completely white and spawning a white pentagon. So this is the same as getting a completely new tiered object wherever you are. So this is a very powerful feature if you double something while further down in the game. Another thing this does is that for every additional shape, size, corner, angle, whatever, you're going to get more money in the first combo. So if you have a pentagon, you now have 5 sides. It's going to give you double what you got from the rectangle. If you get a hexagon, 6 sides, you're going to get 3 times as much money. So if you combine these things, you're going to get, I feel, a game that has a lot of options for you to think about passive income, think about going far down, think about going far down with colors, trying to multiply things. I feel this has added like a lot more depth to the game with a lot like crazy features, and I really like that. But of course I'm really curious about how you guys feel. I fixed every bug I could find that you guys have mentioned, including the crashes, so I really hope everything's gonna be working out super amazing now. I added in a bit of a like super bonus that you can, if you are super lucky, get. Whenever you tap on an object and it splits, you will always end up with a white object and one new object that has more shapes, sizes, and that's it. Both are gonna be white. But there is a chance for you to get the super bonus. This is 1 in 1,000. Yeah. But if you get the super bonus, you are going to have your original item stay black and get from 1 to 10 additional objects. So that is like the crazy bonus that will give you up to 10 new objects in whatever tier you're in. They're gonna be white, of course, because it would be like even more broken if they weren't. But this is a crazy Crazy, 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 very, very, very crazy thing. In terms of coloring, darkening your object, splitting objects, this becomes much harder the further down you go. 10 times harder each tier. So you may need 20 objects to get to the next tier, but you only need to tap it 10 times as many times in order to make it completely black. So the tapping is stronger than combining, but it is a lot of taps you need to make on the same relatively small object in order to do it. So there are like many different things in this game. It is becoming even more amazing than it was before. I think so anyway. I'm completely nuts with this stuff here. I'm like so geeky about this stuff. Different shapes have different physics options, different like gravity, density, friction, stuff like that. And what else do I want to mention? Of course, I added new upgrade options. The finger, you now have an option to have a chance to crit, and a chance to crit means you get twice as many objects when you tap. And the last one is a tier 1 tap, tier 2 actually, meaning that you have a chance to tap the objects next to the first jaw when you tap. So you can now have up to a 20% chance to spawn that stuff. Yeah, some buggy stuff in my development, but it's because I'm gonna be cheating. Yes, it is. It's because I'm gonna be cheating just a little bit, because I wanted to show you guys something a bit more than what I could do while just tapping for an hour trying to hit the crazy stuff. I wanted to show you guys the super combo because I think it's really crazy, and I wanted to show you just how crazy it is, because it's going to be something very few players ever get, but when you get it, it's just gonna be silly pants, crazy cool. So that is gonna be coming in just a little bit here. As you can see now, I have upgraded also my tap, getting a lot more per tap. We have the different shapes with golden borders in the 3rd tier, and these are giving different amounts. Here we have 0022, 0011, 0033. As you can see, these are times 2 and times 3 of the value. So here we have the developer hacks. This here is the super bonus that I'm going to be demonstrating to you guys. Like different ways of just insane. It can go for you if you are tapping on an object. And so there we were not like super lucky, but here we are getting a bit more lucky, because we spawned so many objects, we gained an entire tier just from that. But of course they were white objects, so you need to keep that in mind. But it's still a pretty crazy deal, because if you do it on your end tier, you're gonna effectively be getting like 10 times as much as you have played the entire game as a reward for tapping and getting this super split. We're gonna be getting one here. I put it a little bit in slow-mo just because it's going pretty fast actually. There we have the first 3, and then because you keep the black object, so you can actually double tap it and trigger this super bonus twice in a row, which of course is crazy rare because it's already pretty hard to split them, and getting the super bonus is even harder. But I decided to go slow-mo on it and just force the game to do that for me, because it's my, I'm not gonna say that, but yes, I wanted to be able to do that. And yeah, like super slow-mo, perhaps I did a little too slow-mo on this, but I had to do it. There is a game feature that I haven't fixed because I didn't want to do more before everybody had the game in the same version. But right now, when you go out of the game and you come in again, polygons are smaller. They get loaded from a different set of coordinates. This is just insane. So you're going to have smaller objects when you log in, but the value and their tier is the same. It's just a visual representation of them that's smaller. And because it didn't really have any like huge game impact, I decided that I didn't want to change it for now. The last thing that I added beside this, these cogwheels that I'm not going to be talking about, because why would I, is I added in some different upgrades. I added in the finger with the 2 colored. This is the effective power you have when you are tapping on objects to color them. so you can do that more efficiently by upgrading that. Then we have the one with the grayscale gradient. This is an effect of where in the indicator is it going to restart. So by upgrading, you can make your default minimum darkness much darker, so you can tap like crazy and get darker objects. The last thing I did was I updated a bit of like the banner options you have, well, the add options. You can now increase the drop speed, the drop amount, and the darkness of the dropped objects. And I added in like the 50-second penalty or something like that, so you can't just actually, when you start the game, you need to wait quite a bit before you can watch an ad, and that is just because I want this to be about playing the game, not just about people wanting weird bonuses. I want to add in loads of fun things you're going to be able to do, both in terms of upgrading, but also in terms of ads, but I'm not really that focused on the ad options at this point. I just wanted to have them in there so that I'm working on that part of the game as well. Of course, like in the close future, I want to be making the server-based like competition version of the game. That is really important to me, but I'm also going to be adding in prestige options, and what I have in mind, and I would love feedback on that as well, is you can prestige like once every day at most, and you will get an item, a bonus item, depending on what tier you have reached and the darkness you have in that tier. So if you have reached tier 4, you might get an object that increased the darkness of all objects you spawn by 1, or increase the value of your per second by some amount. Lots of different things that we can add in there. Get one more object per tab, one more auto drop object. Could be also crazy stuff like gravity changing things, or perhaps when objects collide there is a chance of something happening. I want the first objects to be relatively weak, something that will help you but not crazy, and this could be something like +1 per tap. Get another small object whenever you tap, or like in that scope of things. And the thing that I would like to mention now is that I want these items to be tradable. Yes, I want. So I want you to be able to prestige, gain some kind of reward, and then I want you to be able to trade that with another player. That would be, I really like game trading stuff, so I want to like add that feature into Bigger Than Yours as well. Even be able to like trade your big box or something. That would be really awesome. But anyway, guys, that was what I had in terms of Bigger Than Yours. So this should have hit Android, and I'm not gonna touch it until it is on iOS as well. And other news, more than 100 players in Bigger Than Yours, 200 players in Evader, and that is of course just really thanks to you guys. So thank you very, very, very much for that support. That is absolutely insane. As always, guys, thank you very much for watching.